Yet. Let's get into this game though, Hugo. TYLOO over on the T side. Obviously, this is their map pick. Complexity, they chose to start CT. And already, Def taking that early peek down into mid. Now, he didn't spot anyone, so this has allowed Complexity to keep 4 players down towards that B bomb site. However, you can see they're a little bit dubious about whether or not it was just that late mid play. So what they've done is they've cleared short water with Sick and Shazam, and now they've got all this information down at B. This rotation's coming in already. Complexity, they're going to have players inside of this A bomb site. So if TYLOO commit to this, they will be walking into a bit of a stack here.
Yeah, that aggressive decision made by Complexity has saved them here. This could have been a complete, mess for them if TYLOO walked up long with only Def on A. Luckily enough, the cavalry is here, and Complexity waiting for TYLOO to close the distance. Players have been spotted on long, and that bomb most importantly. Bentet's in the corner. Def's taken a kill. Freeman's already going to be picked out of this round, and Def doesn't want to give up the angle. Looking for more, he finds 2. Summer eventually getting the trade, but isn't going to be enough. Is somebody alone on the site, and he can't get closer. Complexity are hoarding that bomb site, and even though Shazam went on that long flank through T-spawn, it will never be needed. It's the pistol round going the way of Complexity on TYLOO's map pick.
Yeah, TYLOO just committing to that long play, even on the back of seeing Def and Co already rotated around. Def does a stellar job to get 3. And I mean, even if that A bomb site kind of started to get chipped away at with Shazam going on that long wraparound through T spawn, you imagine he could have had quite the impact anyway. This round is just Eagles spread thinly on a couple of players for TYLOO. For the most part, vanilla, and they'll get mopped up for it. So money being made here by Complexity. They keep it nice and clean. That is exactly what we wanted to see. 5 players staying alive. Now TYLOO come in with a buy. They're not going to get to have the AWP in hand over on this T side. Complexity won't have one of their own either, though, so we do just have this first rifle-on-rifle round coming up. And this is really where we're going to get a taste of what this TYLOO T side might look like.
Yeah, they've certainly got to be a little bit worried with Complexity taking the lead here on this map, considering, again, TYLOO don't know what they're up against in terms of Complexity not having played this map as of late with this roster, so definitely going to be questions for TYLOO. Freeman gets knifed in spawn by his teammate. That's a right click in the back. It's done 60 damage. Certainly not how you want to start the round if you are TYLOO, but mistakes were made. They're going to have to pay the price. Attacker closing the distance up on short. There's only 1 player on A this round. It's Shazam. He's using his utility to keep TYLOO patient. Instead, they just creep down the connector, that of which Complexity have already abandoned. There was a player down there who's actually dropped into short water with the help of that smoke in the face of somebody and managed to retreat safely towards that A site. It's an odd way to rotate, but considering TYLOO had players all around the toilets, it was the best option for Complexity. Now TYLOO just looking to make contact on this A site, but Ricky, he spots a barrel of the gun. He gets away with a kill. Summer going down, and Def follows up. Shazam's in the party as well, and it's just a 4-on-2 immediately. The entry may come down on B for somebody, but the bomb is dropped up in the midst of all the action on A. This is a done round for TYLOO. Somebody, he's on damage control, a 1-on-4 looking for as many kills as he can, but Complexity, they have locked this one in. 3 AKs picked up. It doesn't get much better than this.
No, especially when you consider how many SMGs they came into this round with, right? They're feeling so happy with all these upgrades, and the fact that you've been able to keep this round so clean is just such a bonus for Complexity. Any damage that somebody could do here is pretty valuable for TYLOO. But he's not really budging right now. 20 seconds, and he needs to either think about dying or saving, and it looks like it will just be that save call from somebody. I'm imagining we're going to see some sort of investment from TYLOO in this round now.
Yeah. If you're focusing so much on saving this gun, it's not because you want to get the money in order. It's because you want to force buy around it. You know that player's going to get no loss bonus, but everyone else's loss bonus is still pretty minimal.
Yeah. I think, yeah, they're getting so they get 2,900 at the end of that one there.
They'll buy Deagles with no armor, I think.
That's what I was imagining. I feel like, you can have a player maybe get armor and then have a pistol dropped around to them or something along those lines. There's definitely ways that you can balance it. I'm curious to see what the decision is here.
You don't want to full buy. That's the thing. You've yet to even have an AWP in play, really. So just give it another round, and you'll have everything you need. And that is exactly the decision TYLOO make. Yeah, you're right. Some armor, few pistols, no utility. It's just a bit of a hopeful investment here that you we can get a couple of picks and worsen this economy of complexity. But great utility usage from the CT side. They throw that early molly to cut off stairs. TYLOO's still going to move through afterwards, taking almost 0 damage off of that. So it's working out for them, but it has allowed complexity to establish positions up on this A site. Ricky's pushed in the toilets. That smoke has a gap in it, and they walk through. He gets caught. Going to look to bail out of this spot, get back through long and join the AWP that is already supporting him there. But they're already running through long because somebody catching Ricky in transition. And TYLOO, they've got a pick.
Yeah, and as these guns get dropped over to TYLOO, as they're able to scrounge together a bit of an arsenal, they do become that much more threatening. You can see Attacker's retrieved that AK from the body of Ricky over towards long, and now he can drop that gun onto Summer. So suddenly you've gone from having, you know, just one weapon and a little bit of stake into this round to now a good chance of making something of it. You can just have these pistol players play together and try and go for the trades, try and have the rifles create the space. TYLOO, they'll group back up in T-spawn and connector, looking like they want to hit this B bomb site. They are stuck for utility. They don't have anything to get them in, so they will just have to go dry, waiting for these smokes to fade. 3 players already here at this B bomb site for complexity, and Sick on the barrels. I mean, he's just looking down at the floor. The others are going to try and bait these players for TYLOO into the bomb site, and Sick, all he's got to do is mop them up. He'll get 2. Obo's helping out, and he's helping out in a big way. The new kid on the block for complexity, locking in that 4th round and looking good.
Yeah, I mean, that's still a fantastic round for TYLOO, right? Considering they only bought a few deagles and they saved an AK from the previous round. They get 3 kills. I mean, you know, seconds away from maybe killing Obo there. He was down to 5 HP. And from then, you can even get a bomb plant. That would have been even more money for TYLOO. But albeit not going to be the bomb plant, they're still going to be happy with that round. And they can come back in with 4 rifles, knowing that Complexity's money is a little bit on the edge. They've got about 4K a player, but that's still going to be possible for TYLOO to sweep it under the rug. Let's see, running through the Molotov is Freeman with that bomb. He gets to playground again. This already seems to be a bit of a staple complexity CT side. Very aggressive utility at the start to keep TYLOO honest, keep them passive. And it seems to be doing its job. TYLOO, I mean, 20 seconds into the round, barely even through the playground. Sick's going to get aggressive. Somebody not ready for that push. There was no flash to indicate that play, and Sick perfectly catches somebody not ready. Complexity with a man advantage here in this 5th round, and TYLOO, where do they go from here? Only just starting to clear up the connector and set their sights on A.
Yeah, but to get to this A bomb site, you first have to get past this man in toilets. Shazam has the big green gun. Attacker has made some progress over here towards long alongside Freeman. So slowly we are seeing this creeping A default taking shape over towards long and mid. 45 seconds left. Time is starting to become a little bit of a problem here for TYLOO. They're hoping that sometime soon they can catch one of these complexity players out of position and get themselves that 4-on-4 again. Ricky is the only man who might give that fight up. He's hidden close over by the toilets. He's got support from Def and Shazam back at the bomb site. Flash goes in, and he's caught the timing. With it, he drops the bomb. That's that spotted. And now with 20 seconds left, Complexity, they've got all the information that they need. The rotations are coming up. All that's left is the players in the site have to hold their own, but they've fallen at the first hurdle, and this has now turned into a bit of a disaster for Complexity.
11 seconds, so they're going to go through the smoke. They want to try and fight this bomb plant. If they can drop it, it's still a chance. But Bentet finishes off the job that Attacker started, and Obo's last alive. He's got to get something done, but they double peek, and Attacker swinging out from behind the site will save the day in that round. TYLOO, they get it done. As you said, Harry, that was almost perfect for Complexity. They had all the info, they dropped the bomb at a perfect time. TYLOO are left scrambling, and then suddenly a double entry into that A site, and TYLOO have a plant. A nice attempt from Complexity, trying to go back in and retake that round. TYLOO certainly weren't ready for the pace, but they do deal with it and get their first T-side round on the board. Finally going to be locked in.
And an absolutely huge round from Attacker, right? Not only is he the man to get the trade onto Ricker, stops that player over in toilets from becoming too much of a problem. You imagine if he goes untraded a little bit longer and you have to take 5-6 seconds if you're TYLOO to clear the backline, that could have been a very, very different round.
Great span from Def there. He just goes right in through the wall as TYLOO fast play connector. And look at how much damage he's done to both Bentet and Attacker without even taking any risks. Even gets a jump spot as well. That door's been blown wide open. He can see the legs. BNTET getting tagged more and more by the second. He is not getting out of here easily.
Man, Def's got a foot fetish. Look at him go. He's peeking over the top, and he's taking those toes off. BNTET is the walking wounded right now up through connector. He's looking very unhealthy. 15 points of health. Shazam's back here over in toilets, and he's got the AWP primed and ready. Now, they are actually already out in mid, and I'm not too sure Shazam's ready for that. But BNTET spotted jumping up from the connector, and that will be Shazam's signal to fall back into the bomb site. Take a bit more of a passive position here. Holding for that toilets cross, and no one's going to offer it up, so that smoke will now come in. Throw in courtesy of Def to allow Shazam safe passage back into A. That's a pretty big reposition for Shazam. He doesn't risk giving up a kill at this A bomb site, and you can see TYLOO, they were really kind of relying on that opportunity to present itself, because now with 25 seconds, they're still grouped up outside of A, and they've got to go in 5v5. Shazam, they wish they dealt with this man earlier. He's still a problem. They finally shut him down. 15 seconds as they get into the bomb site. They tap the bomb. Ricky's still over towards long, but they've got it down, and this AWP becoming a real problem. It's BNTET left up in the 1v4.
Yeah, 15 HP though. All it takes is one bullet and Obo's found it. That was a very close round from Complexity despite them having 4 alive. I thought that could have gone a lot worse. They actually sent a rotate back down towards B right as TYLOO was sending their players onto that A site. Luckily enough, as always, first player around the corner has the bomb. So Complexity, the second they get an immediate kill off of Shazam's AWP, they know exactly where TYLOO are going. I mean, the time is too low for that to be a fake anyway. In addition, Ricky, he was stuck up on long on his own with the AWP, deep by the flower beds, and he didn't have that traditional bait and switch setup. So an AWP in that spot is kind of difficult to maneuver. If TYLOO sent a long split, they would have probably had the kill onto him, and he wouldn't have got 2 frags as TYLOO tried to cross towards the bomb site. So huge kills from Ricky, but you definitely would like to see TYLOO split a little more on A rather than just tunneling through the toilets to their own doom. 5-1 now. More rifles for TYLOO. The bomb plant does facilitate that. They're going to go fast. They're going to get into this B bomb site. The Molotovs and Complexity not stopping the pace, but the 4 players on the site might. Quick trades as Attacker gets 2. 6, same story. And Shazam with the AWP raining down death from above. They still haven't cleared the barrels. BNTET's got a final 1-on-2, and he started it off, dropping Obo in the site. It's only Ricky rather up in the top with the AWP. And BNTET doesn't know just yet. That bomb's on the other side. He's got to go round. Does get it. And with him getting aggressive, he's just going to commit to it rather than go for the plant. Flank CT spawn, get behind enemy lines. The question is, does Ricky expect this? It certainly looks like he is. And this AWP should be perfect. He will win the round. Complexity, they are not letting off the gas right now on overpass.
Yeah, you understand the attempt from BNTET. It was just a battle of mind games in that situation, right? And the second that Ricky hasn't seen anyone on that bomb site, he hasn't seen BNTET try and get across to get that bomb, the cogs start turning, and you can see he's really considering at that point, okay, the lower app's coming in. He holds that initial angle for the heaven peak just to, because he doesn't know how deep BNTET has got. So Ricky playing that perfectly there in the 1v1, holds on to the round for Complexity. And a tactical pause called in for TYLOO now, and justifiably so, right? This is their map pick, Hugo. Coming into this, we were kind of thinking that, you know, if TYLOO were going to get a map, it would be this one. And Vertigo would be the sloppier affair, right? Seeing as that was a pick from Complexity. But they're looking warmed up right now with the Complexity guys. In particular, Ricky's had a few big rounds now since he's had that secondary AWP in hand. If you think about it, that A-site play in the round prior to last, where he manages to get 3 on the AWP, I think it might have just been 2. But yeah, and then again in the 1v1 to pick up that 6th round for Complexity. So, you know, Ricky not being like some crazy flashy AWPer, but he's just doing his job with it, holding these angles and kind of winning out his individual fights.
Yeah, that's all you need. 6-1. Complexity are rolling with the punches here, and TYLOO, they are, well, getting punched and rolled. It's just pistols here for this T side, bit of armor and a couple of smokes and flashbangs. They will go quickly over the A site. Shazam, oh, he doesn't realize how many there are and how close they are. He's getting overwhelmed, won't be able to get a chance to fire off a shot. That's the AWP dropped over, but the quick flank Complexity had connector taken immediately, but they are also being flanked. Somebody's right behind. This Tech 9, however, can be a bit of a fickle beast in these situations. you need to hit every shot, and sometimes that accuracy is not guaranteed. Somebody wants to close the distance, and rightly so. Get right behind them, spamming away. You can see that gun is messy, but he gets the frag. M4 out. Ricky's already in the toilets, and he finds the trade. Nice utility usage from Obo again. An attacker, a 1-on-3. He may have found that AWP from the body of Shazam, but he's got to find 3 kills with it.
Yeah, bomb is planted for him, but they've already crossed onto the truck, and he's out in the open, holding close. Obo spots him. And man, Ricky with the M4, 3 kills in that round.
Just so keeping it up, isn't he?
I mean, he's just continuing to go. Obo's been really holding his own down towards B as well. I've really been enjoying watching Obo and Sick as like their little tag team in that B bomb site, right? And how they've been playing that barrels position. One thing that I like as well is they seem to constantly switch up who's on the barrels. And I think that's because it's very easy. Like, I'm trying to, you know, if you've got like one barrels player who's normally the barrels guy, you're always going to check barrels,
barrel
right?
boy, mate.
Yeah, exactly. Is it Tizian who's got like the fastest flick time on the back?
Flicks of this USPs,
but it's like, you know, if I'm playing versus Tizian, which I do frequently, I'm always checking barrels for that exact reason.
Always dying barrels too.
Yeah. Ricky's over in mid, trying to get up into party. Now he's missed the jump a couple of times. Summer's out in middle with the AWP, so Ricky does really have to be careful here. And he's so lucky there, and he knows it.
He doesn't even get flashed by his teammate. He's just like, yeah, I'm out of here. I'm just going to bail. The one thing I will say is this is kind of scary because Complexity certainly look comfortable on this map. Again, they haven't played it officially, but this is a team that has been putting in a lot of work. People like Def have gone publicly and said, you know, this is some of the most useful... Okay, Def. Some of the most useful boot camping and prep he's done for an event. And, you know, it's showing right now, at least. They may be down 0-2, of course, but on TYLOO's map pick of Overpass, a map that they've always been good at, Complexity are trouncing them. 4-3 right now in terms of players alive, and TYLOO are ditching back towards the B site. It's a good call to make. Triple setup on A for Complexity right now. TYLOO, they've got an AWP on Summer and plenty of util to get into this bomb site. It's going to be Sick left alone to defend it 1-on-2. Or 1-on-3, rather.
Oh, but keep your eye on that minimap. Shazam has just started to rotate, and that's because of Def so deep in the toilets. Ricky peeked long as well. They haven't seen anyone at Ace. The Complexity, they've pieced together slowly but surely where this play is coming in. And they're going to have 3 players at this B bomb site. For TYLOO, that is an even fight, and you never want to take even fights in Counter-Strike. You need to do everything you can to warp it to your advantage. Now, they do catch Sick over a monster as he tries to reposition towards the short angle. The connector timing isn't quite there either for Def.
Get out.
Buntet really playing with fire here. Summer does at least get that trade. It's Shazam and Ricky, 2v2. Freeman and Summer inside of the bomb site. I'm ticking away now, and Freeman's going to find another. Shazam, is he even going to give this one a go? The money has been whittled down for Complexity. They might be 7-1 up, but they don't have a lot left in the tank. Shazam, he had the read. He was looking hungry. But that will be a second round for TYLOO. Also, Hugo, that's the Epics GG. The 29 cards with Epics have been released. And they have all the cards for your favorite CSGO stars, the chance to win signed jerseys, merchandise, and CSGO skins, Hugo. For a chance to win Get Right's very own game use skin, make sure you sign up and download the app today. Epics.gg.
Thank you, Harry.
There you go.
Very well put.
Came up with that all on the spot.
Yeah, you're really ad-libbing it quite well. Full eco from Complexity, though. They, as you said, you know, that money's starting to dwindle. And finally, this could be where TYLOO get their head in the game, right? They break the money, they get a couple of rounds to, you know, build up their own economy and start to find confidence. Because that's the thing, leading up to this 7-1, TYLOO, it's not like they've been flat. They tried a lot of things. They've been going for, you know, slow A control rounds. They've been going for quick B plays. It's not like they've been one-dimensional at all. So finally going to be reaping the rewards of their dynamic T side. And let's see if they can start to pick up a few more rounds here. Already a pick. Obo, this is a cheeky little position with the Zeus waiting for a kill onto a TYLOO player walking through the toilets. It's actually a triple long setup as well for Complexity. So let's see if this has any play into the round. It doesn't seem like it because TYLOO have already bailed out of this site after finding a pick and connector. They're just going to walk into B. Doesn't get much easier than that. An empty bomb site. And this will be TYLOO's third round, basically guaranteed.
Yeah, there's not really much more to say in this round at this point in time. Right, the bomb's going down. You've got guns. You've got a 5-on-4. And that Zeus on Obo is not ever going to get to see the light of day, sadly. TYLOO don't even really need to throw any players hunting this, and they know that, right? They've spotted that it's only pistols. I hear the footsteps here. Somebody's so tempted. He loves a frag. He loves a kill. The door's been closed on him, but when one door closes, another one opens, and it might be the same door just over and over again. There we go. Finally comes in and gets the kills. All mopped up. Attackers there to help out. TYLOO 3-7 now.
Yeah, that's like the BM play from somebody. He's like, okay, if you're going to keep shutting this door on me, I'm going to just die just to kill you. I don't care if I trade 1-for-1. Shazam, get out. This isn't okay. Stealing my frags. And TYLOO will close it out with only a couple of casualties, so not really too much of a worry. But that was Eco from Complexity, and now the money will be flowing through their veins. It's going to be M4s fully up. No AWP, though, to note, and we saw Complexity have a lot of success with that double AWP with Ricky taking the secondary. Actually, top of the entire team right now. So let's hope that Complexity get a bit more money in the future. Obviously, it's down to whether TYLOO will let them. Summer's posted with his own AWP up on the playground. We've got somebody throwing all his utility towards B early, trying to force out the nades, the Molotovs, the smokes from Complexity down on that B bomb site so they can go for a late play. But Complexity are getting aggressive through Monster. They're being flashed. They are clearing out all of this B site. So Shazam, now up in this boost in the window, he's going to have to be very aware that TYLOO are coming his way, but mainly through long. With 3 players and that bomb, rotates are going to be needed, and Complexity will start to throw them up onto the A site.
Oh, this is where we get to see Shazam up on the boost and Attacker. Your arm's been spotted. Oh, who's going to win it? Who's going to win it? Someone's going to... Shazam whiffing the shot, hops on down, and... the boost dismantled in an instant. 45 seconds here. TYLOO grouping up outside of long. 4 players at the long position. Smoke now falling down. And actually, that was thrown in by TYLOO, so they've got to go through this. There's not really much time left. And they'll blanket this site in smokes. The flashes rain in. Def, the only man left inside of the bomb site, and he falls shortly after. A great execute here from TYLOO, but damage being done. Summer in with the return. Ooh. What is this round? It's utter chaos, but finally Freeman puts a nail in the coffin, and TYLOO, they'll get on to a 4th round.
That's like the chronicles of smoke pushing, Harry. TYLOO run through their own smoke. Complexity run through TYLOO smoke. I mean, no one caring at that point. Just trying to force fights really quickly. That was a nice change from TYLOO as well, right? We've seen them be, have issues with going up towards the A site and not splitting, but that round somebody's going through toilets, and he catches 2 kills of players, rotating off of the site or focusing on that long play while TYLOO are running through with all those Molotovs. So somebody doing his work there, filling his role very well. And 4 rounds for TYLOO. This T side's coming together very quickly. It's pistols again for Complexity, a chance for TYLOO to take 5. And this time they actually own the connector, not wanting to get the door shut on their face this time. It's been Tet waiting at the back line. Ricky going to walk into it, and this is, wow, I was going to say, could be a real mop-up for Bentet, but quick 1D from Sick, and even though the bomb is down, Complexity can grab that 1 rifle and go for the save.
And here's been like the bit of a change from Complexity and how they've been playing the CT side, right? You think about when they went on that initial win streak, when they first got their CT rounds on the board. And one of the things that you and I were praising them for was how proactive they were being in taking information on the map, really like pressuring some of these pivotal points such as short water, monster, taking aggression down towards long, mid, connect, all these early engagement areas where you can get information. We were seeing Complexity use a hell of a lot early on, but these last few rounds, admittedly, they haven't had a lot of money, right? Their backs have been against the wall, but even thinking back to their last rifle round, they were just anchored down in the A bomb site, having to play reactively to that site take that came in. And I think, TYLOO, if they're a team that if you let them hold on to all their utility, if you let them get map control, and they can just throw and execute in the final 30 seconds, that's where they're going to be at their best. You need to be catching these guys in the mid-round as they're setting up this default, whittling away at that utility, at that manpower early on. Complexity trying to fall back into more of a passive style to counteract this play from TYLOO right now. And I'm hoping that maybe once we have the AWP back in hand, we see a little bit more aggression from them again.
Yeah, it was the early round stuff as well that Complexity were doing, right? These very deep Molotovs, forcing TYLOO out of map control, taking B short very quickly, and just generally being a nuisance, making TYLOO waste time. And You know, for a team that is already, or can already be very slow and leave it down to those last 10, 15 seconds before they go through a site execute, you know, shaving 20 seconds off the start of the round is really going to hurt TYLOO's game plan. So, Complexity, still no AWP. Unfortunately, the money just not there for it right now, Harry, and 5 rifles are back in. That being said, still got a good half under their sleeve. TYLOO setting up aggressively outside of B, 4 players, and I mean, if you look at the setup for Complexity, they are being proactive, but this time on A, and that is the wrong side of the map right now. TYLOO walking into what could be only a 2-man setup. Luckily enough, Def with the rotate back down through CT, and this will be a bolstered defense. Could actually boost up and catch TYLOO setting up for this B play. The bomb is there. I don't know if Def would have spotted it. I think the bomb was too close to the short ramp. But he certainly got info that TYLOO owned this part of the map. 1 minute on the clock and TYLOO going for the execute, looking about to get fast and furious.
Yeah, smoke down on the bridge, and Attacker's gone running right through it. He will get traded, Def doubling up. Bomb drop down in the middle of the bomb site, and now TYLOO have to try and retrieve that, but Sick is continuing to throw spanners in the works here. Multiple at that, and now he's repositioned onto the barrels. The Molotov tags him, and Freeman's there to put him down. 2v2, and a very lengthy flank coming in from Ricker to try and end this round. They've put a lot of stock in this flank, in this rotation, and now more than ever, you have to see that pan out for Complexity. Oh, Freeman's got the read. He takes the peek, but not going to win the fight. Gets away with a lot of damage. He's left Summer in a 1v1. He's going to hightail it up to the A bomb site. This is such a mind game right now. Summer, he knows where Ricky was, so he knows he's got the timing. Ricky's read this, though. He's already up through connector.
Luckily, Summer's got a bomb plant for the bank and the dumpster. But the issue is, does he expect this aggressive rotation from Ricky coming in through Con? He's got to at this point, because now he's cleared out CT, and after a few seconds, he's going to realize that no one's coming from below, and therefore it only leaves one place for Ricky to be, and that is the site. Flanking bank. And I think Ricky's got the read, but he starts to make noise. He might have had that. Summer was down below, and Ricky's still going to get the kill. The pace doesn't matter. He realizes he has no kit. He had to run, and run he will with an 8th round for Complexity. Fantastic stuff. And that got very scary down on B as well. Do you remember Sick getting mollied in the barrels? That Molotov actually physically hit him, and that made a noise that alerted Freeman as to his position. Of course, not only that, but it also starts to burn him as well, and that's when Freeman can just pre-fire barrels knowing exactly where Sick is, boxed in into that corner. But that really is unfortunate. Molly threw a smoke, tagging, and Freeman, yeah, he had a great round as well until that final fight where Ricky catches him down monster. 8-5 for Complexity. That's a huge round to win. They finally got the AWP back in play. It has been all too long since we've seen Shazam on that gun. And he is having a bit of a rough game right now. 4 frags to his name. Maybe this could be the chance for him to resurge.
Oh, he saw him. But don't go back there anytime soon. Oh. Yeah, this is feeling gross.
Okay,
Oh, hang on, he smoked it. He's going through. He's going through. But Buntet, yeah, that's an easy kill. I mean, I like the idea from Ricky. He knows he's a bit screwed. If he tries to get out through mid, they don't have control of party. They know that they've tagged him down low. So he just decides to try and fake go through that smoke, hoping that maybe Buntet has just fallen off the angle once that smoke's gone down. But Buntet's now used their smoke against them, doubling up before the trade comes in. And on the back of that, he's just spotted another 2 players down in connector. TYLOO know where the majority of these CTs are, and they're going to play very, very quickly on the back of that information.
But this is the issue. You say majority. That's not everyone. There's still Def hiding in the toilets. And again, TYLOO are tunnel visioning in on one position. This might not be a problem for them because somebody's on that late lurk, but this kill makes all the difference, and he whiffs the spray. Sick with the frag, and now Def's position is even more valuable. He can wait for this bomb part to go down, and he doesn't even need to wait. Drops the bomb, tries to follow up Freeman with the trade, but Def's got the info. He knows they're on the site, and he's at least delayed this plant for TYLOO. Question is, do they plant or do they try and get into CT towards B? They know these last 2 players will buy connector, and that is being confirmed. Shazam hitting a shot with the AWP, and now Freeman just hiding behind the truck. 1 on 2. They don't know where he is, but he'll show them facing aggressively, and Shazam's going to hit the shot. 8 rounds to Complexity, and this is wonderful stuff. Even with TYLOO taking a huge advantage in that round, Def really does the work by dropping that bomb in the site and really creating confusion for TYLOO.
Yeah, I mean, not to mention, right, the way that Complexity play that 2v1 at the end is perfect, right? You've got Sick and Shazam left up, and Sick has just made contact moments ago with Summer over at Long. Instead of having him dedicate to that fight, they just use it to set Shazam up and home in on the angle, and actually Sick completely leaves Long. And that's why Freeman, you can see he's really restricted as to where he can actually go within that bomb site, because the last thing they knew, there's a player Long, there's a player mid. So he's kind of stuck on Optimus at that point in time. And now, last round of the first half, double AWPs back out for Complexity. This is where we saw them find the majority of their success, was on the back of this double AWP setup. Connector control taken by TYLOO very early on. Once again, they've tried to take this area of the map. And this time they've gotten it for free. No engagement with Complexity here. Instead, their first point of contact looking like it could be Ricky or Sick, as Sick and Obo have actually started to take short water control down at B.
Yeah, but TYLOO are not interested. They've walked up the connector. Ricky actually smoking in front of him. Now, there's a couple of huge gaps in the side that I'm sure he's aware of, but that could be baiting TYLOO into actually playing with that smoke. They'll just smoke the front of the toilet anyway, so there's no more shenanigans. Summer sits on the end.
I like that, just re-smoking.
Yeah,
cool. The second you see a smoke and you're like,
yeah,
what is that for? You're like,
oh,
yeah,
like,
you're just
no,
looking at it
you.
immediately thinking, nah.
Yeah.
Def will re-smoke close.
Uh-oh, he could get flashed through this. Ricky's right behind him with the flashbang, but Buntet's going to just fire blanks through the smoke and take him down. Not a start that you would want if you're Complexity here. This AWP is needed to frag more than ever, and Ricky will start it off. He's been so good on this gun, and he almost hits the third no-scope. Shazam will steal a kill away instead, and Complexity are more than happy with this. 3-on-2, the flank is in. TYLOO have 20 seconds to plant the bomb, and even if they try and fake it out here, Complexity are just so close behind. Obo dropping that plant, and this is almost impossible for Buntet. He'll find a bullet to the back of the skull. 10 rounds on the half for Complexity. At one point, TYLOO certainly get control of that half, but Complexity close it out in style. Will they be able to close out the map, though? That's still under question. We're going to throw to a break, and we'll be right back with that second half.
Well, TYLOO feeling a little blue here after their map pick. Hasn't gotten off to the best of starts. 5-round T-side, definitely recoverable, but it was a slow start from TYLOO. Took them a little while to build into that game. Once we saw them find their footing, find a couple of rounds, they did go on a little bit of a streak. They did chain together a couple. Rounded out by Complexity, though, towards the end and reaching double digits. They've set themselves up nicely heading into this second half. 5 rounds between these two teams, and Complexity now moving on to that T side. Utility purchased up by Def and Ricky. They've got 3 flashbangs, 2 smokes. They head on over towards middle early on. And interesting enough, Ricky's down at B right now with his smokes and flashbangs. So either this could culminate in a late B play, and that's what they're looking to do. Maybe sell a bit of a fake to deny that water fountain peak that so many teams do with a stack down at B. or Ricky's going to be throwing his utility into that B-bomb site to sell the fake and keep those players there while the rest of the crew try and hit A.
The way this looks is Complexity want to push back the A players, and then from then they can decide whether they want to go back down towards B and join this bomb and utility, or they want to commit towards A, and it will be the former. They push TYLOO back, but the issue is they push TYLOO so far back that they start to stack the B site. So Complexity walking into 3 players here right now. As I say that, Attacker just leaves this bomb site, so very good timing for Complexity to go for an execute. And Freeman, while he has a tight angle, he's actually going to go a bit wider. Instant dink, what a shot. Don't know who that was from, but they have just really opened up this round. Flashes into the bomb site. Freeman's got to hit some blinders. Bomb's been spotted. They know this is a full commitment, but he can't get anything done. Somebody on short. Oh, the missed shot. The back of the head is so hard to hit here with the pistols, and he will pay the final price. Shazam getting the kill. Only 2 players left for TYLOO. This is falling apart. They need a hero right here, right now, but Complexity are swarming the bomb site. Nice shot from Attacker, but will it be enough?
Yeah, no kills yet to come in since that first one, and they have to get something soon. Smoking off short, trying to render that man useless, but it's into the crossfire. They go into the maws of Complexity, and they'll get churned up. 11-5 now. Pissed around going the way of Colin. TYLOO, they really wanted that to try and make this game competitive, because now, unless you're able to... I was going to say it, like, unless you pick up a force or something here, which, you know, your CT side, you're 11-5 down, you do not want to be force buying if you're TYLOO at this point in time. You want to get those rifles in as soon as you can here.
This is somewhat where it's setting in for TYLOO. There's a very good chance they're going 0-3 here, Harry. They're down on their map pick by a huge margin. They have Vertigo coming up, a map that TYLOO do not play. Again, Overpass is a map that Complexity, quote-unquote, do not play, but they're looking fantastic on it. But the difference is, yeah, TYLOO certainly, you know, it's up for question how much work they've done on that map, and we can't really bank on anything there. So this is getting very, very scary for the Chinese side, whereas Complexity, they are walking past victory lane 5 rounds away from taking Overpass. But as you say, we haven't had a rifle round yet for TYLOO. We still need to gauge how they're going to run this CT side. This round won't be of much interest, though. Bit of a B stack with 4 players. Complexity taking the bomb down lower, interestingly enough. So they might walk into this, but again, it is only USPs. If they could deal with them in the previous round with just Glocks, I'm sure these AKs will tear right through them. Again, a similar situation from Complexity as was the previous round. Just pressure on A and then a rotate down. Now, the question is, because Def is just lurking up on A with a MAC-10, the fact that he's cleared this site might bring the bomb back up. They might realize that TYLOO, they've got to be B-stacked here. There's no one here. And this is where Buntek can cut off that rotation and get some info. Not for long, though. Sick finds the headshot. That bomb bailing out of the B-bomb site, and we might even see TYLOO do the same. But look how deep Def's got.
Yeah, Def is just the man who should churn through TYLOO here. Somebody and some are off for themselves up to the MAC-10, and they get shredded in its awesome presence. $600 a kill for Def there, so he makes a nice, cool 1,200. That's some quick maths, obviously.
Well
600 doubled.
Wow, Harry.
Yeah.
Really working hard here. Put that calculator away.
Yeah, sorry. If it's got more than 1-0 at the end, I can't do it. Obo's hunting with his little MAC-10 as well. They're hungry to make money. They know they don't need to hunt. It's only USP players saving. But they want the cash.
Oh, this is... I mean, you see people players play deep graffiti, but not this close corner that Attack is on. He runs back, and that's when Obo goes out. He was just trying to bait footsteps, bait noise. This young player is so far doing very well. I mean, Complexity are in general 12-5 up. They can't really be too dissuaded by this scoreline. The question is, what can TYLOO do here? This is it. Do or die on Overpass. They've got guns, and they've got to get a win. Otherwise, it's very possible we could see Complexity run over them and TYLOO just be out of this map before you know it.
And that's the thing, as you touched upon, right, with Vertigo coming up next, a map that we really don't know what to expect from TYLOO on, it's worrying, right? Like, this is certainly not how TYLOO imagined this going down. You know, this is a team that's been one of like the longest attending Asian teams at majors, right? Yeah. Obviously not in this form, but the organization and a good majority of the players on the roster as well.
And look at how those GG bet odds have flipped as well. It was 1.7 to TYLOO and 2 point something for Complexity at the start of the series. Well, now it is looking very, very different indeed, Harry. Complexity running the bonus round as well. This could be a fast B play, and what a way to go out. If TYLOO don't have incendiaries, when they don't, this could be very, very good for Complexity. One Molotov being thrown down towards Monster. But Complexity are already in through B short. This could still get very, very scary. Luckily enough, they won't commit with the immediate B play. They're going to slow down a little bit, force out all the utility from TYLOO.
Yeah, I was going to say, if you're Complexity here, you know that they don't have a lot of money, and you know their money is at breaking point. If you pick this round up, you should be taking this map from this point onwards. And so they've whittled down that very, very limited amount of utility they knew TYLOO had, just by making it sound like they were going to run that immediate disrespect B play. And look at what it's done.
Wow.
All the utility, apart from 2 smokes and a flashbang, have been whittled away from TYLOO.
And that's just a great play, because TYLOO have no choice there. They have to use utility. If they don't, they get B-rushed and they lose. So that is a really, really mega brain play from Complexity. They have just absolutely thrown a spanner in the works for TYLOO. And this smoke's about to fade.
Oh, Summer on the other side. They're already up and past him, but this could work in his favor, especially because he's got Buntet right behind him. Bomb dropped. Summer's sat on it. Buntet isn't moving, and now he makes his presence known. Now he strikes down players over in the toilets. Buntet with a double. The bombs drop. Shazam goes back for it. Def might be on the A-bomb site, but Buntet is already hunting him down. Buntet is just a bloodhound at this point. He smells the blood in the water, and he's circling around him. He's hungry for more, but Freeman's stolen it from him. A 6th round for TYLOO, as they do manage another.
That was huge from Buntet as well. I love the fact that they don't chase together. He waits for like some sort of long split. It doesn't come through, and then by that point, Complexity going, oh, we've killed Summer. We've killed the aggressive toilets player, and they try and pick up the bomb, and Buntet just slaughters everyone. Complexity not getting that round, Harry, but it was a bonus, and they do have money for more. That being said, TYLOO, they have at least dug themselves out of the first of many ruts.
The thing I love most about that bait and switch setup between Buntet and Summer is it's, in comparison to a lot of bait and switches, Buntet has so many options open to him there. Yeah. But actually, Anne, we'll hold that thought, because look at him, man. He's just he's running to party. He's in the playground. And he's on the swings, he's on the slide, he's having a great time, and he's just wrecking these kids. 2 kills found by Buntet. Finally, they get the trade.
But that's all worth it. I mean, 4 on 3 immediately. Complexity, their game plan for the round has been thrown up into the air. They are just mid-rounding it right now, Harry. Utility massively diminished as well, so the possibilities that come with that are going to be less so. Ricky is luckily down towards B. He can catch rotates off of that site. Meanwhile, the other 2 are working up towards A. Utility being thrown down by TYLOO to keep Complexity honest. That's an awkward flashbang. It actually rebounds off the corner and blinds Def, not its intended purpose. Ricky, he might try and sell a bit of a B fake now. No utility for it, but he can try and peek, and if he gets a kill, that might force a rotate off of A, making Complexity's job a lot easier. Right now, they're just patient. 30 seconds, and Complexity, they've got to make a decision now. Ricky's going to walk into B, and Complexity are going to come join him. Wait, oh. No, they're bailing, Harry. 20 seconds, they can't make their own mind up.
Yeah, it's the old double switcheroo, and even Complexity might have fallen for it. I mean, 15 seconds at this point as they try and hit the A-bomb side. That bomb's got to go down. They've got to get in. And with 2 players here lying in wait, these kills have to come through. There's only 7 seconds. There's just no time for Complexity in this round. And TYLOO, a 7th picked up. They hold their own there. They only lose 1 player as those 3 for Complexity push into the A-bomb site. Stellar stuff from TYLOO. And just at that moment of hesitation for Complexity, where it seemed like the call was to go back to B, and then we see Ricky starting to leave short. And there's that like brief second where both players seem to meet in connector and act as though they both shouldn't be there, and then have to go back up towards the A-bomb site. So a little bit of a confusing round maybe for Complexity, just getting lost in the mid-round calls there towards the end.
Yeah. They were just hoping they'd get a pick on either side and they could commit, but TYLOO just knew the time is low. They didn't need to face. They had a crossfire on both sides of the map, and there's just no way that Complexity can get back in if they don't get a kill. I like this little Glock setup in connector. It's kind of similar when you see USP rounds and like the CT stack 5 players on each other's heads. But 2 players back home with Glocks waiting for a peek through the door. No one's going to give it to them. TYLOO R&B short though, so it could be a possibility. Complexity instead taking the bomb up towards A. They're going to go 2 through long, 3 already close up on short. Bentet's ready and waiting for this, and with armorless players, he should be able to mop them up without too much hassle. Ooh.
Ooh. Well, Bentet's sweating a bit now. I certainly would be.
Oh, dear.
Def's doubled up with the Deeg. And uh-oh, this round could get out of hand still. Somebody's up in the A-bomb site. He's here to try and help, but he's getting chipped away. And somebody, 4 points of health, put down by Obo. Freeman trying to help out, trying to clutch this in what is now a 1v3.
Oh, no.
He's got to ace it, and Obo shutting him down. 3 kills for Def. 2 for Obo. What a round from them. Complexity onto 13.
Those multi-peaks from like the different level of dice box, like one behind it, one above it, just not letting the players hide behind the truck. What a round. And yeah, Bentet, he just gets absolutely timed, right? Turns around to look at toilets after his teammate dies, and then Def walks up. I mean, it doesn't get much worse than that. And Def is having fantastic performance as well. 20 kills, top of the entire server right now for Complexity. 13-7, Harry, and the money is gone from TYLOO. They have just lost to Glocks and Deagles. So this is going to throw TYLOO under a bit of a bus. 2 CZs, 2 M4s, and an MP9. Not even Molotovs in this, nor kits. Can't let this get to a post-plant situation. Things are going to get a whole lot worse.
Oh, Bentet's taken up position over in long toilets once again. Last time we saw him here, he managed 3 kills in a stellar A-site hold. This time, only armed with the CZ, he's really got to go above and beyond again. Bentet, players on the other side. Smoke will fall down at the divider, and that might prompt Complexity to try and clear the toilets. And this is what Bentet's been waiting for all round, but he just looks away, and the timing not quite there. Shazam making quick work of the lone toilet player, and now Summer rushing in as well. I mean, TYLOO, they're taking the fight in the toilets.
Oh, but little do they know, Harry, that toilet regression comes at the worst of times. Complexity coming through long. The only saving grace here for TYLOO is the time. 20 seconds. If they can stop this bomb going down, they can win this round. But that's got to be what happens here for TYLOO. Somebody lines him up. He sprays with that smoke, wards his vision. Freeman coming through the edge of it, getting one. That's the bomb dropped in the open. It's panic, but there's only one player left up, and he's too far away to stop this plant. Complexity should have the numbers in just enough time. Attacker, though, a possible 1v2. A chance to salvage this round for TYLOO when they need it most, but Complexity have disengaged, and that will make his job a lot harder. Yeah,
he misses the timing to catch Shazam crossing to long by around about a millisecond, and if he did, that would have made all the difference. He spots Def, and he's very aware that there could be a player here at long. There is Shazam getting found. Now down to the 1v1. It's Def on the opposing side, top of the board for Complexity. Not peeking the bomb. Attacker's got no time at this point anyway. Doesn't have a kit, so he's just got to try and get out of there, and Def puts him down, continuing his fantastic performance. Complexity arriving at a 14th round here on the map pick of TYLOO. And on the back of that, I mean, for TYLOO, they put all they had left in the tank into that one round. So
really nice try.
They've left themselves with no money here, and heading into your round to try and deny map point to your opponent. Definitely not the situation you want to be in. 3 MP9s, couple of pistols, and that's really all there is to write home about.
Funny little note, something not too important, but I saw Robo do it in the previous round. When he was clearing connector from bottom, walking up these stairs that Bentet's on now, he was looking at the ceiling, like at the skylight and the light switch and stuff, just to be careful, because I don't know if you remember, it was Vici, the other Chinese roster that had that little boost where you can get into, I guess, a glitch spot in connector, and you can drop on someone from above, and Complexity probably going, yeah, I don't, you know, these Asian teams, they got their little tricks and things like that. You don't want to get caught out. However, right now, that's exactly what's happening. 5-on-3. Buntet is slaughtering in the connector, but he eventually gets orbed. That being said, a man advantage still contained here for TYLOO, and Complexity going to unfamiliar territory. They've been on A every round, it feels. Now going to B. Attacker playing close. They're getting baited in by Freeman. He doesn't need to commit because Attacker's the first point of contact. That molly will force Freeman out. Attacker needs to swing. He needs to help out his teammate, but dodging the flashbang, it might not matter. Sick gets the kill. Luckily, Freeman gets out from the Molotov, but Complexity is still running all over this site. Great shot with the MP9, dropping the AWP, and Ricky falls as well. It's an absolute massacre, and TYLOO are going to get the best of Complexity with those SMGs.
Yeah, somehow, some way, the dream keeps alive for TYLOO. But this round is a very good kind of case-in-point example of how I was saying that when they added Freeman in, it did just feel like there's a little lapse in this team now, and there always was some communication problems within TYLOO. It just feels like they're not quite synergizing, because as you were kind of pointing out, with the Molotov raining in onto Freeman, you know, you feel like maybe there could have been a bit more help from the likes of Attacker in that situation there. So maybe some teething problems still showing through. You will note that normally it's kind of Freeman off on his own, away from the rest of the unit, right? He does kind of stick solo, and I imagine that's because he's still exactly trying to find where he does slot into this team, right? And it's a lot easier just to leave him to play his own game. It's working for them, though. He's sitting up near top of the board. Attacker going to get one before he's traded by Ricky. Oh, top mid taken. Somebody might be in for a bit of a nasty surprise here. Instead, he'll double up. He finds both those pistols. Summer's going to delete Def, and Ricky alone, 1v4, bomb dropped in connector. I'm not painting a pretty picture here, Hugo, for this clutch. But let's see what he can do.
Yeah, your shirt is far more colorful. He's going to paint the walls of blood here, and it will be another round for TYLOO. They're starting to come alive, Harry. It's just up against 14 is such a rough spot to be. At least it's not 15, right? You've got to look on the bright side. If it was against that that overtime guarantee, then kind of always feels like a bit of a bittersweet game, knowing that even if you pull this 8-round comeback, you still have to play overtime. Luckily, that's not the case right now. And Complexity, they don't want it to get that far. They're going to pause it. Take a breather, take a moment to discuss how they want to approach these upcoming rounds, because TYLOO are certainly nipping at their heels in these final few. So 9 to their name, or 8 rather. Complexity should have the money back, though, and that is indeed correct. No AWP, but full rifles, albeit a Galil, which I will, I'll count as a rifle, but not really.
Oh, these nades in mid. I thought they were going to find more damage than that, but Buntet's back in with this aggressive party play. Complexity just caught them a few rounds ago, so they're wise to it.
More than ready.
I think as well, with like the smokes raining in, along with that deep nade, really does kind of give away that maybe you're going to see some of that aggression come through, especially when Buntet has attempted that a couple of times now. So TYLOO falling a man down early, and it's their top performer, or one of them, Buntet, the man that used to be the star. Now leader within this team, he's dropped from the round early, but Summer, there's the return, the collateral onto Shazam and Obo. He makes the kebab out of them down in mid, skewering them up. A man advantage taken back for TYLOO. Summer primed and ready, looking for more. Anyone else going to line up? Nah, instead they'll smoke them off.
40 seconds. TYLOO is patient right now. 2-2 per site. Complexity can go back down towards B. Connector has been theirs all round long, but not interested in that. Out of utility now, the smoke's raining down on the site. They've cut off both points of rotation, but those aren't the points they need to worry about. TYLOO are on the site. Nice molly, forces Summer into the open. He has to commit, and he does, taking a kill with him on his way down. Bomb getting dropped, 13 seconds. Somebody knows they have to go through that smoke, and they do, to his gunfight. Sick getting the trade, and there are the A-site players cleaned up, but TYLOO have a quick rotate back down. Sick hit by that nade double. In fact, he lines them up and almost gets both. Freeman going down, an attacker with a quick trade. It's TYLOO on double digits. They will just not let go, Harry. They will not give up.
Yeah, they just seem to be able to keep on fighting. I mean, the second they lose Buntet early, I thought this round was done, but Summer's collateral, you know, a bit of luck for it to transpire the way that it did, but still, him finding 3 kills in that round, really being a savior when TYLOO needed it, especially when you consider he's been sat bottom of the board for TYLOO this entire game. He was on 11 kills in that previous round, now up 14 along with the rest of the pack. So a big moment from someone who'd fallen pretty quiet. Well, looks like maybe just a fast B play from Complexity. They've got SMGs, flashbangs, and they'll go running in. The problem is there's head armor across the board for TYLOO. These crossfires are very solidified here in this B bomb site, and it's only Shazam left up, 1v3, and only 12 points of health to his name.
I respect the attempt there for Complexity. They know they can't get enough for a real buy. They have to go for, you know, armor pistol or SMGs and utility, and they just throw a quick Hail Mary into B. Maybe it works, maybe it doesn't. Maybe we get 3 kills and hurt the economy, but at least we get a feel for how TYLOO are playing this B bomb site, which has been a position Complexity have kind of neglected on this second half. They have had far more success up on A, so if it ain't broke, don't fix it, I guess. But right now, it's feeling a little bit broke, Harry. TYLOO are only 3 rounds behind, and this was a dominant half at least. Or at least not a dominant half necessarily, but a dominant start to a second half. It was 12-5. That felt like it could have been a quick closer, but TYLOO have really dragged this one out. Credit to them. Nice utility, though.
This CT side of TYLOO is really tightened up. And one man that it's been a real pleasure to watch is Buntet over here. Like, how he's been playing this A-bomb, so I've just loved it. He's so dynamic, right? Constantly switching it up. Now he's over at long, where he's supported by Summer. Yeah, Def's going to win that fight somehow, some way, and he's out of the B-bomb site. They're going to take that man advantage all day long. Do be sure to bear in mind, Buntet's still in this forward position, and if you take a look on the minimap, you'll see Sick and Oboe trying to work that mid portion of the map, and this is where Buntet really could come into his own later on in the round.
Yeah, he's just got to find the timing. The issue is that Summer's rotated down towards B, so right now, the only A player is on long, and he has no info, and that's why he has to either get aggressive or retreat, and he's going to go for the former of the two. But Ricky, he just looks away. He was holding that position, and Buntet, he has got them hook, line, and sinker. How many kills will he take? There's one, but he doesn't be quiet and realize they're all there, and now he's really trapped himself. 30 seconds. Can he stall them? He's dropped the bomb back in Fountain. This could be huge. He will eventually die, but he's at least got the info for TYLOO, and 20 seconds for Complexity to get to that A bomb site. There are already 2 reinforcements there.
And somebody could just stop this whole round right now. If he drops the bomb trying to cross in mid, then this is over. No matter how well Oboe does here, if that bomb doesn't get there, then yeah, the round is over. And actually, that bomb just tried to duck down through connector. It looked like that was going to culminate in a B play.
I guess you're hoping for the clutch there, right? Because they lose one fight on A, and well, they lost both fights on A, really. They got 1 kill, so not really going to work out. Maybe you can catch players who have rotated off of B. You know, you're really just kind of hoping at that point. At the end of the day, there were 20 seconds. That bomb got dropped at Fountain. That's all Buntet needed to do. He hits the perfect timing. I will definitely say, bit of an error to you know, for Shazam to run back and take that fight, considering he had the bomb. You know, maybe not aware of it. And of course, if he wins the fight, it's not a problem, but it's just that risk, right? You want to have some kind of reinforcements, because there was a smoke put down by Buntet. He was able to isolate a one-on-one, and even though he gets traded, just those 5 or 10 seconds of confusion that Buntet creates here wins him the round single-handedly. It allows for TYLOO to rotate, as you say, to connector, to cut off that bomb, and also get 2 players on the A site. It's a really nice round from TYLOO.
And this is the thing, TYLOO have been doing a solid job of just keeping Complexity guessing. You can see that as they're getting into these bomb sites in the later stages of the round, they're having to keep an eye on their backs. They're having to be so methodical, checking all these horrible angles. And that's just because TYLOO have been so proactive at exploiting any gaps in this default that they can find. And this round is no exception. Already Attacker and somebody have taken short the one area of the map that Complexity do not have control of. And now they can just lock this down. They can just keep Attacker over at short water. they will actually fall back, and that's largely because they don't have connector control right now, so you don't want to be in a situation where you get pincered there. Regardless of the information they've already got from that short push is monumental. It's allowed for this three-man hold over towards A, and now the flash is into Toilets, giving up that there's players here. Freeman doubling up, Buntet swinging wide, and it is just a massacre over in mid. TYLOO 13-14, one away from tying this up, and what a recovery it's been from them.
Yeah, reiterating here, 12-5 was the scoreline after Complexity won the pistol and the follow-up round coming into this half. They took 10-5 on their CT side, and TYLOO looking to one-up them. They might be able to. I love this setup on A as well. 3 players Toilet side, and Complexity, they don't even get a point of damage in that round, Harry. They lose every engagement, and TYLOO deal with the pistols once again. Been very good on these anti-ecos. With the exception of that one Deagle round for Def, where he absolutely tears Buntet apart on A. Great utility continuing up on this A site. Sick and Shazam and Def getting tagged up early. We have the AWP posted for Summer, and he's got Buntet pushed up as well behind the rock. So first contact will actually be the sword because it's further away from the angle, and so you're going to swing and spot it, and then Buntet can activate. The flashbangs, however, might cancel out Summer's position. You can see Complexity look like they want to go long, but actually opting against it for the time being. Definitely got to be aware of the possibility of that push. Buntet has been very aggressive on A, not only just in the playground, but also on long. Flashes up, Buntet fights, and he will get one. No trade. That AWP had actually already backed off, unfortunately, so TYLOO caught out in rotation, and they will go 1-for-1 here.
And here's the thing, at this scoreline, at this point in time now, you're in this 4-on-4. No one across the map wants to be their next player to die, because this round just has such massive ramifications for the outcome of this map. Complexity slowing right down. Summer's looking over towards short. Might get some engagements coming his way.
No.
And actually getting blocked by somebody. Ricky's doubled up. He's found them both, and it's a bit of a disaster. TYLOO getting too cozy in the bomb sites, come back to betray them. And now it's Attacker and Freeman left standing, 2v4. TYLOO, this was a 12-5 half. They have grinded so hard to get it back to this point, and now it's all on Attacker to deny map point the way of Complexity. He'll get the first man. Flashbang in, holds him back, and that time ticking away. Ricky puts him to bed, and Complexity 15-13 map point for the North American side.
And that was a necessary round, Harry. Without that, Complexity's money would have been broken, and that would have been the 7th round in a row that TYLOO won. They would have had all the cash to close out that game. They likely would have gone 16-14, but now at least we've got a match on our hands. Complexity lock in 15 first, and TYLOO can still buy back in. They are not out of this game. They can fight for overtime here and now, but this could have honestly been TYLOO's game to close. Very, very close. 15-13, AWP for Summer, Shazam on the same situation. Oboe spotting down bottom, but doesn't see too much. Connector's been left open for TYLOO this round. They've gone for a triple B setup, expecting maybe a faster approach, but Complexity, again, avoiding that side of the map. AWP posted here for Summer, waiting for a jump spot. The molly's going to force him back. He's got to make a decision. Do I stay or do I go? And he doesn't want to commit. Rightly so. Complexity are methodically clearing out all these toilets, all the short area, forcing TYLOO back, but Summer's still waiting with the AWP, and he will find that victory, taking down Shazam. A huge scalp to find at the start of the round here for TYLOO, and a rotate coming back up from B.
But instead, still like this unknown factor holding close over towards Ace. Yeah, Complexity, they just decide to bail on out. They don't want any part of the save bomb site anymore. Oboe's got the bomb on his back, and he's looking to rejoin Ricky down towards B. To get into that B bomb set that you've got to get past Attacker and Freeman. So they're trying to throw this A side fake. They're hoping they can pull some of these rotations in. And with 2 players getting spotted and now a kill going the way of Complexity, Freeman, it looked like he was about to begin a rotation. He just turned around to CT, but now he spots the bomb at long. 10 seconds, Attacker here. Bomb dropped out in the open, and Freeman doubling up. 5 seconds left, no time for Sick in this round. TYLOO 14-15, 1 away from overtime here on Overpass.
Oh, that was such a sick setup down on B there for TYLOO, right? Like, so unfortunate Complexity sent everyone in through Monster. They don't clear short, and Attacker's just able to hide aggressively by the sandbags with his back being covered. Really, really nice stuff from TYLOO. They don't fall for that fake on A. They, that could have gone very, very badly. Once Def gets a kill from Toilets and he kills Bentet on A, that's when, TYLOO have the option to over-rotate there and draw players back. And for a second, it looked like Freeman was going to, but then he reconsiders, commits towards Monster after they don't spot anyone else. And yeah, TYLOO, they have salvaged yet another. The game that keeps on giving here, Harry. Round number 30. For Complexity to take TYLOO's map pick, or for TYLOO to bring us to overtime here in the first of this best of 3. And don't forget, this is elimination on the line. This is going home from the major on day number 2. All to play for right now. Complexity setting up all outside of B. This has not been a site they frequent. Let's see if the unknowing, I guess, of this site can come back to haunt them, maybe, because that's the bomb spotted and dropped. Freeman catching the boost. What a huge scalp to find. Def, the man who's been opening up round after round for Complexity, is gone.
Yeah, a huge kill. And at this point in time, it wouldn't surprise me if Complexity just steer well clear of this B bomb site. I mean, it has been the kind of one consistent site that TYLOO have been able to hold every single time. And I think a lot of that is just coming down to Freeman doing so well in a lot of these individual gunfights, right? Sitting top of the board right now for TYLOO. And he's ready. He's hungry for more kills to come his way. He's got players on pillar and holding the close right. Yeah. They line up for Freeman now. Only 1 kill comes in, but Attacker over towards short, doubling down. Leaves Ricky alone. TYLOO about to take it to overtime unless Ricky can pull off this 1v3 clutch. 20 points of health, 15 seconds left, bomb on his back. And this one feels impossible. Poor Ricky left alone. Summer peeking out, and while he does bait the peek, he'll get found. It's overtime. Complexity versus TYLOO is set to continue.
That's the worst 1v3 for Ricky to be in. A very unfortunate situation, because TYLOO, they instantly just fall off. They know where Ricky is, and they don't stay inside of the site. They force him to stick that bomb plant, and in doing so, he gets peeked. So fantastic work from TYLOO to salvage a 12-5 scoreline against them. They pull it all the way back to overtime. I thought losing that previous round could have let them crumble, but they will be able to suffice and shut Complexity up, really, on their map pick as well. Most importantly, TYLOO need to take Overpass here in this best-of-3 series, because Vertigo is the second pick, and that's a map that we have no idea what to expect. Neither of these teams play it. I mean, Complexity have got 3 maps logged, but only winning 1 of them. TYLOO have 2 and don't have a win to their name. So, scary stuff, but that's all for the future. Def opening up this round. He is looking to make the difference here. Sick getting caught with the AWP. Summer, he wants more. Through the smoke, Shazam peeks, and Summer can't get even more aggressive, even though he's being caught by Def, who's watching the party exit. Again, through the smoke, Shazam going to find a kill. And Summer's not able to retreat there. That was his best option, honestly, running alongside, because Def had his short covered, and Attacker wants to re-aggress. Same story for somebody. TYLOO are not giving up with pushing here. This could work out for them. Complexity might not expect the re-aggression at such a point in the round.
Attacker, there's his chance, and he's seized it, doubling up. Oh, and it's a disaster now. Ricky has gotten into the B bomb site at the very least, and actually this rotation coming in from Freeman could prove to cause some problems for TYLOO if he gets caught moving down into heaven.
Oh, it's a great plant.
Yeah, Freeman's not creeping forward enough to check it. Only now getting into the heavens. They're going to try and boost Freeman. Giving up his position. Now they know he's here. But also, if you're Freeman, you've just realized that both these players are under heaven. They're trapped down in hell, and you've got them pinned. There's the flank coming in from Attacker. And TYLOO, 16-15, they'll take the first round of overtime.
Yeah, that was perfect for TYLOO, right? That boost actually from Complexity completely gave it away. And the worst part about that is that Complexity thought that TYLOO knew where they were. TYLOO didn't know that Complexity had the B site, at least until that smoke went down on shore and they started to make it very obvious. They could have easily walked through that CT spawn and gotten up towards heaven. Freeman was only looking towards the site, so it could have been an opportunity for Complexity, but yeah, just not knowing, just assuming that TYLOO had all the info there when that was in fact not the case. Could have gone a lot better, but either way, considering Attacker got aggressive and basically just ruined that round for them by killing 2 players on A short, Complexity do make something out of it. Being said, 1 round for TYLOO. It's first and 19 here in overtime. 3 rounds played per half. So that's the thing. Even if TYLOO do well on the CT side, they still need to find T-side rounds. That they were struggling to do in regulation. But that is for the future. And once you hit overtime, everything does change. Got this bait and switch set up on long with the AWP. Some are supporting Quintet here. Complexity, they are committed towards toilets, walking 4 players up. Shazam watching the flank with that bomb, being careful. He knows how aggressive TYLOO have been in the past, and now Complexity going to start to show their hand up towards A. Nice shot from Summer, fully blind. He can't get any more. Smoke on the molly, and somebody able to cut them in half. He's able to isolate a Jewel and get a kill to Sick, but the trade is so quick. And Bentet checked on long. What a kill from Obo. He's on 3 frags right now, and Complexity might be on 16 rounds.
Yeah, Freeman and Attacker there, the 2 tasks are trying to make something happen here. These crossfires already pretty solidified. Obo keeping an eye on the bank walkout, and Ricky making his presence known. Attacker getting spotted. They have his name, number, address, mother's maiden name. They've taken it all, Hugo. 5 kills coming in between Obo and Ricky in that round. And these 2, especially, really have been coming into their own later on in this game. It feels like it's been Def topping the charts, but I feel like towards the end and getting into this overtime, we've really seen a lot from Obo and Ricky. Shazam still a little bit quiet here for Complexity. Now, obviously, he is T-side AWPing right now. Maybe when he moves into his second half in overtime, we're going to see a little bit more from him. But Shazam is just someone where if he's feeling it, he can really step up and dominate a game.
Yeah,
so
he can just win a game for his team.
It is such a shame that right now it does seem like he's struggling just a little bit in this one. Needs to try and find his footing.
Yeah, look at this. Like, Obo's just checking everything. Like, you know, I don't trust these guys. You can get on top of that light switch as well, that light bulb rather, if you run boost. That's a fun fact. Pretty sure you used to be able to. Don't know about now. Either way, Sick. Great flashbang from Def up from short side. He's going to catch some with the AWP. And, I mean, this is the last round of this half of overtime. So TYLOO are scraping at the bottom of the barrel for this buy. They've lost the AWP. They've got no utility but flashbangs. They've got 1 kit. They even have an SMG on Attacker. Things aren't looking great.
Ooh, there we go. Def's gone up. And, yeah, like, Pentet's handed that one. The thing is, normally when you're playing a bait and switch like this, you have a player at long who can help out or at least draw the attention away. TYLOO, they don't have any such player in that position. And that means Buntet is kind of hung out to dry there, right? He is trapped in that corner. And Complexity know exactly where he is, so they just group 2 players up at long. They deal with Buntet, and now they've got that man advantage back once again. Sick doubling up, and Attacker and Freeman trying to keep this one in TYLOO's favor. It's an SMG and an M4 versus the AWP and Krieg, and Attacker now the last man left in the bomb site alone, and Ricky puts him down. The Krieg king of Complexity, as Ricky sees out a 2-1 half in overtime, leaving them now just 2 away from taking this map.
The worst part about that is Attacker's so committed inside of the site that he can't leave. And there was only 10 seconds left. If he was able to, you know, get back to safety, he could have tried to allow Complexity to plant the bomb, and then he would have been able to go back in for the retake rather than just get double peaked. Nice try anyway. I mean, he was just stuck behind the box with that SMG, and Complexity salvaging the lead on that T side. 17-16. They were only able to get 5 rounds in regulation, and they get 2 out of the 3 here in overtime. definitely not good news for TYLOO here, as now they have to do the same or better. If they get 2 rounds on this T side, and we see another overtime. If they get 3, and they take the win. If they get 1, Harry, or none, well, Complexity take us to Vertigo. AWP is back out for Shazam. Hopefully, as you said, this could be where he really comes alive on the CT side. He sets up on long. TYLOO not going there for the time being. Fast through the connector. Def is on the other side of that smoke. You can hear all these footsteps. And can just wait. Oh, that's a perfect nade in the face of attacker. Doesn't get much better than that. Pretty sure that was from Sick down on B. And that's one from Obo as well. Less damage there, but Complexity still softening up the targets of TYLOO, and this boost coming through as well. There is a player on barrels, but surely they're going to be ready somewhat for this. Bentet going above. Will Obo be ready? Oh. See, the thing is, now that he's dropped, they probably won't go for that boost again because he's made noise. And if anyone was close to the site, they would have heard that. Now Complexity, in theory, could be watching the boost. They're not, but that could have been a pick for TYLOO, and unfortunately, it will never go their way now. And, oh dear, look at Def.
Oh, I was expecting a little bit more there, but Freeman getting the trade back. And this one now looking like it wants to end up in the B play from TYLOO. They've grouped everyone up down here together, but look on the minimap. Look at Ricky. Look at Ricky go. He's all the way in the park. Oh, but it might not matter because through the smoke, everyone's getting tagged up down here at B. And actually, there's only Sick here. Shazam has set himself up over in Graffiti, and just in the nick of time, Sick can't quite get out of danger, though. Ricky, they've been waiting for this flank all round, and now it's finally here, and he's got to step up, and he's always been delivering. Finally shut down by Bentet into the 1v1. What a chaotic round. It's so back and forth. Bentet forced to get that bomb down. Shazam not able to find him. This is chaos.
AK's not reloaded. He's going with the Glock.
Able to get back behind Pillar. This is the most drawn-out 1v1 you've ever seen in your life. Someone's got to take it. Bentet's ready, but Shazam is faster. Oh, what a shot. Complexity 18-16, and what a way to reach map point. Shazam, we've been saying, he can dominate games. He can save this one for Complexity. And while it isn't a massive multi-kill round, it is a pivotal 1v1 in overtime to see that game out.
Yeah, just that kill alone can bring back your confidence, knowing that, okay, we got this. We need one more round. And Shazam, what a shot. He was not favored in that duel. Bentet had the positional advantage. He had an AK instead of an AWP. And bam, Shazam. What a kill.
I love it. I love it. 18-16 now, Hugo. One round, all that's required for Complexity. TYLOO, they've got to get 2 in the bank if they want to take us to another overtime. Not impossible. We've already seen TYLOO grind their way back into this game from a 12-5 scoreline. They fought incredibly hard to bring it to OT in the first place. And it would be such a shame if now, on their map pick, it was all for nothing. Smoke down over towards Monster. That holds back this TYLOO push. All 5 players here. It's not every day you see a gaggle of TYLOO players pushing in towards short water like this, but they are all grouped up and just sticking together, trying to play the numbers game.
This regression. Oh, it's perfect. The flash is there, and Obo's able to get a kill. Now, he doesn't spot any more players, but TYLOO, they're going to commit. They're going to run right through these smokes, and they could come to regret that. This could be for the map, and Obo is tearing them down. 2 players left for TYLOO, and that bomb is dropped in no man's land. They need a savior. Bentet with 1. Freeman, same story, but Sick is still up close by the barrels. Smokes covering everyone's vision right now, and that nade puts Freeman to 2. This is on a knife's edge. Bentet looking to stab them in the back. He could find a gap through this smoke. He's grabbed the bomb. He could even get out of the site if he goes back towards A. That's a possible option, but he doesn't want to. He wants to commit, and he needs this next kill. He'll get 2. Bentet still kicking, still alive. It's Shazam again needing to clutch this round out to save Complexity, but he's left with 16 points of health. He gets the wall bang. One more man standing, 2 HP the difference, and Shazam's not going to get it. TYLOO pick up the round. How do they pick up the round?
These last 2 rounds have been the best that we've seen in this game thus far. I mean, they're so chaotic, so down to the wire. And the second you see in what was, like a 2v4 in that B bomb site, Buntet and Freeman, if there was 2 names that you want up in that clutch, it is these 2.
Yeah.
They are a whirlwind of
Look
death.
at this.
Buntet getting them 2, Freeman helping out at the end, and now double overtime, feeling like a real potential here. Summer's back on the AWP, Shazam has his out for Complexity, but there's SMGs in play now for the CT side, and they're trying to take this mid aggression, something that we haven't seen them do yet. Summer's going to send them out of mid, and Attacker's doubled up at long. TYLOO in full control of this round, 5v2.
Yeah.
Hugo, we're heading to double overtime. It feels like a guarantee unless Shazam can get away with one of the most insane 1v4s that we will have ever seen. Or 1v5, sorry.
The clutches get harder for Shazam every round, man. He did the 1v1, they're like, okay, now try a 1v2. Now try a 1v5.
It's exponentially harder. Next time in Spawn, his own teammates are also going to turn on him, so it's a 1v9. That's the only way that they can keep these odds building.
Oh, dear. And yeah, I mean, at this point, it doesn't even, like, where do you even go? TYLOO can hit both sites at once. And they're, in fact, already in B. Buntet's called that. Knives are out on the A site as TYLOO run towards the bomb site.
I really like, actually, how they've played this 1v5, not taking any chances. Buntet's down on B, but he didn't call for that bomb to rotate down on the back of him getting so deep. He just holds, and the second he hears the footsteps, he's got the information where the only player left in the game is, and so they just send that bomb safely up into A. That way, even if Buntet and the other man lurking do go down, you've still got that 3v1 with post-plant solidified up in the bomb site.
And then somebody came and threw a killer flashbang up over above the short walls. So Shazam was fully blind. There's no way he's winning that fight. And yeah, busted. Done and dusted. It is going to be double overtime here in the first map of this series. And to think this is a map that Complexity have not got one logged game on, yet TYLOO, they absolutely love overpass. So this is great news for Complexity, but to come this far and fall is no one's aspiration here. So, first to 22 now as we hit double overtime. The sides are back on CT for Complexity. This has been where both teams have had the majority of their success until we hit overtime, of course. Ricky posted with the second AWP, and this is what I wanted to see. We haven't seen Ricky on the second AWP since something like round 10, and he was getting so many kills in the start of this game that put Complexity originally in a 7-1 lead. It was at that point TYLOO started to get T-side rounds, but let's see if Ricky can be the man to look out for in this round. He's up in the toilets right now. Shazam's got another AWP up on A long, and TYLOO are setting their sights on A right now, so these AWPs could certainly be a problem.
Oh, Ricky and the double AWP, something that Complexity loved running on their CT side. And now he's got to show us exactly why. Oh, he might have caught a time in here into the toilets. Now, this could be both good and bad. He's back to back with somebody. They're so close. They're so close to one another. Uh-oh, Ricky's running in. Ricky's running. He must have been hurt. Surely. No, he hasn't. Ricky smites them down with the AWP. Attackers come up from B. This round is chaos once again. In overtime, all the rulebook goes out the window. And it's just messy every single round. Somebody getting that bomb down, but it's Ricky once again arriving from long. Somebody, the penny seems to have only just dropped as he's taken up this position on the flower beds. And now silence as Complexity slowly but surely nullifying all of these angles. Somebody sees that first man. Oh, out into the open. Ricky sees him and missed shot from somebody. Quickly mopped up by Sick. 19 to 18 for Complexity. Let's not forget 22 is the magic number we are looking for.
As an unfortunate jump up in the flower bed there from somebody. Maybe if he stayed, he would have gotten away with that first kill. But yeah, very hard position to actually win a clutch from. You've got no fallback procedure. You've got no way to retreat. You're having to win 3 fights from a corner. Pretty unlikely. So TYLOO, I mean, great attempt on that site, but yeah, the quick flank from Ricky was perfectly timed. He gets a couple of kills with the AWP, and now Complexity are back in it with a 19th, taking the lead once again. Although these leads are so fickle, Harry. They can swap in an instant. Quick Molotov from Complexity again. TYLOO will smoke it out. They don't want to be held back early. Again, considering how slow some of their T-side rounds can be and how late they will execute, it does make sense. Somebody even clearing out B water as well. Complexity putting a lot of stake in this utility early on. They're going to be left with not a lot, but they will have a kill for it. Def getting a frag onto somebody from that boost. And he's just going to instantly rotate back up towards A to support Ricky.
See, because we could ever so slightly hear the team comms,
Yeah.
like ever so slightly.
I can hear those rotate
Yeah,
calls,
you can hear the calls for rotates up towards A, so that does seem to be where Complexity are hoping this one ends up. Now, that's not the case. That bomb is on the back of Summer down here towards B.
They've realized.
And yeah, they have realized. I think a lot of that is on the back of Def. That smoke fades down towards short, and so he just immediately pushes it. This is Complexity's CT side from the early stages of that first half. We're seeing some more of this proactive information gathering. Obo getting one, but the kills all going in favor of TYLOO. So the information might be there, but the kills just aren't. 3v3 as that bomb goes down. There's time for TYLOO to set themselves up in the post plant here.
Ooh. But Def, do they realize he's already gotten himself into position? Attacker's walking up, and Def's on an off angle. He catches him, doubling down. Def, will he realize there's a third? He doesn't, but it doesn't matter. Freeman's on his own, and Shazam and Ricky have to hold this one down. 5 second stick, and yeah, he's got it. There's no way that Freeman can stop this one. He might get the kill, but he won't even get it. Ricky finding the shot. And 20 rounds to Complexity, 2 in a row on this CT side. The first overtime was 2-1 in favor of Terrorist halves. Now, well, it's 2-0 for Complexity. If they can lock in a flawless CT side, this game might just be theirs, gift-wrapped and delivered. At least TYLOO get a bomb plant. They will still have money to invest.
Somebody, looking like he might just go through this smoke once that Molotov's gone. He's waiting. And just patient as ever, hidden over on the right side. Thing is, for TYLOO, right, they're yet to get around in this instance of overtime. Of course, this is the second overtime that we've seen in this game. And yet to get a T-side round. If Complexity go 21-18, that sets a very worrying tone, and the fact that they've got the man advantage in this round only strengthens that argument. 4v5 B hit from TYLOO, but they've been good at finding these entries. That's something that we've had to give them credit for. Freeman gets one, but Obo able to catch these two players in a series of 1v1s, and now Buntet, suddenly, blink of an eye, he's had his teammates stripped away from him, and in a 1v3, it's just too much to ask. Complexity 21-18. The first half of the second overtime, it goes flawless for the North Americans, and now they need but one more round here on the T side to pick this map up.
And honestly, the biggest difference that I noticed coming into that overtime, which is why Complexity gets away with 3, is Ricky taking that second AWP. Man, he was getting a kill or two every single round of this overtime on the CT side. So the fact that he can wield that weapon so effectively, especially when Shazam is having a bit of an off game, that's great. That being said, on the topic of Shazam, he has pulled it back. He found the opening kill in the previous round. He's now on 20 frags. He's doing his job. It was a slow start, but I think the first clutch in overtime really, really built his confidence back up. Either way, one more round is all Complexity need. It'll separate them from taking this victory and moving over to Vertigo, their map pick. And where I imagine they've done even more prep than that of this map. And so far on Overpass, things are looking splendid. So double orb this time for TYLOO on the CT side. You're not going to see one on the Terrorist half, as good as Ricky has been. And Krieg is still so effective. Somebody down in the connector with the AWP. Now, this is dangerous. To peek this hallway with the AWP is one thing, but to hold the stairwell, man, you are going to be pressured to hit your shots. You get one opportunity here and you're dead. He's going to maybe just walk out of B and safely rotate back up towards A, knowing that it's likely Complexity have taken A short, or at least put players up in the party that they have.
It's looking like Toilets is going to be something that Complexity do want to get a handle on in this round, right? You've got long control, you've got players over in party. This leaves Buntet in a very awkward spot. He's sandwiched in between these two sets of players. And now they flash in. He'll win that initial fight. Obo getting bested. Sick nearby to trade, and that there was unknown to Buntet. So that double stack over towards long yields some immediate results for Complexity. Stops that situation getting too out of hand. Still the man advantage maintained here for TYLOO. But a foothold taken over in mid and long. That Molotov's going to burn Freeman out into the open, back towards Dumpster. Sick is in that smoke, right on the edge of it. The second that starts to dissipate, he's out from long, and Freeman now spotted, deals with Summer. Freeman gotta do it all, and only 3 points of health, but he's still finding kills. He's still buying time. I don't know how they haven't dealt with him yet, and it's all gone. Freeman with 3 HP. 3 kills, 1 for every point of health he had. It's 3-man in that A-bomb site as he locks it down.
That is a perfect example of how to isolate your jewels and how to buy so much time for your teammates to come back in. I mean, by the point that he took and won that final fight, he already had a teammate up on the stairwell. Somebody was right and ready to peek Dumpster. So excellent work for Freeman. Didn't even need his teammates' help. He gets it all done on his own. 3 kills and TYLOO salvage around. This game is still going on. It's not over just yet. Complexity just have to win one of the 2 next rounds. Now, do remember, in overtime, if they lose this one, they're going to be struggling to buy in the 3rd. So this one is the most important. And Buntet, he knows it. He's looking to take it away from them. Aggressive again. Picking up a kill around the playground, or the party rather, through the smoke, and no flashbang for it. Def gets picked up. These kind of little mistakes from Complexity might cost them the map.
I wonder how often they're going to keep feeding Buntet over here in mid. These kills, he's finally allowed just to get out of there. Summer's going to back off with him. Now, I think he hears that shot rally out from Connector, and yeah, he does seem aware of the prospect, but that flash is...
How is he alive?
How do they keep living this? TYLOO, the unkillable, and Obo's got as well. It's somebody and Summer lighting up the scoreboard. Ricky left in this alone. 1v4 turned into a 1v3. 2 players up through Connector. And it's the boy from down under left in this to try and get Complexity the win. Ricky has been doing such a good job for this team in this match thus far. He's gotten 2 of the 4 kills required, but will he be ready for one of these players? So close on short, certainly not. 20 to 21, a 3rd overtime, still a possibility here.
More a probability, Harry. As said, look at the money for Complexity. It's enough to get a bit of a shambled buy together, but, you know, Ricky's on a glass cannon, 6 on an SMG, and we're going to have more problems than just that. Honestly, I think to see Ricky on the AWP is a great thing here, but it's just a shame it has to come at this point when Complexity are scrambling for money. Shazam's on a deagle. Big of him to let Ricky take that AWP as well. Maybe just the fresh change could be something here for Complexity. But right now, TYLOO, they are looking like the ones that want to bring us to a 3rd overtime. Will not give up. We always have such great overtime games at these majors, especially in Swiss formats. This is no exception. Especially when it's all up for, you know, elimination. The loser of this going home. That's when these games really get close. Do remember that bomb's dropped in T-spawn, so Complexity can't commit to this B play.
Yeah, they're very aware of that as well, so they don't want to get too aggressive over here towards Short or Monster. They're playing back, and they're hoping that someone from TYLOO goes creeping into these crosshairs that are already posted up. Bit of damage already going down at long, by the way. Ricky getting tagged up there, and that was by the AWP of Summer, so he He's already been spotted. Information gained for TYLOO. They're only just now going back for the bomb on the side of Complexity, and Def getting dropped over towards short. Oh, this could spell disaster. 6 spotted. Somebody hungry. He's hungry for this kill, and you can't bait the shot out of him. Not until it's too late. Sick getting shut down. Shazam and Obo 2v5. This was looking like the dream scenario from Complexity, but Freddy Krueger's appeared, and this is now some sort of hellish nightmare. 5v2 as they try and get into this bomb site. Obo's found a double. Maybe there's a chance. Maybe it's not a nightmare after all. Maybe they needed a miracle, and that man, it could be Obo. He's tapping in the numbers. He's tapping in the bomb. Somebody's missed the knife. What is going on? This is chaos. Attackers left up in the 1v2, and he'll take the first man down. It's only Obo left to find, but he's gone, and Complexity have taken the win. 22-20. Oh, they deny a third overtime. They take this map, the map pick of TYLOO, and it's a 2v5 to get it done.
Harry, they had 10 seconds. They had 10 seconds when going for that bomb plant. Obo goes absolutely crazy. Massive kills there from the young gun, the latest addition to this team. And Complexity, they save it. In a round that they had pistols and a glass cannon AWP, not even on their main AWP, it was looking a shambles, but they will take that first map. Now we go to Vertigo, and TYLOO are facing elimination.
That is just not ever a round of Counter-Strike that Complexity should have won. That was a 2v5 with 12 seconds left into the A-bomb site.